Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Well, it is currently 12:52 a.m. on this cool Saturday evening going into Sunday. Let's see what the temperature is outside right now. The temperature is 67 degrees, clear, and feels like 67. I can see the moon. I just took little dog out and he ran like all over the street right here from mailbox to mailbox to mailbox. He's so sweet. And tomorrow, oh, it looks like we're having some really nice weather for the next couple days. Tomorrow it is supposed to be 87 and fully sunny. And then Monday, 91 and sunny with a little bit of clouds. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, sunny. Let's see. 88, 85, 84, and 89. So those will be some good pool days that we're going to have this week. So I don't know that I'll make it to the pool tomorrow. I might. I'm vlogging tonight because I want to kind of just relax and spend the day with Alex tomorrow. So I'm like, I'm going to vlog now because he just left his party with a friend of his, and they are at this bar slash restaurant called Ball and Biscuit in downtown Indianapolis. And they're like having a drink there, and then he's going to come home. So he should be home probably within the hour. And I want to watch a couple episodes of Hacks. So I am going to vlog now, and then I'm going to watch Hacks while my vlog is getting up and ready. And then tomorrow, I don't know if I'm going to do a drama video. I already have this video ready to go. That's me and my cousin Caroline. So I might post that tomorrow. If I don't, I'll probably post it on Monday. There's some different drama stories that I could make. So, or I might save the drama stories for like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then I'll have definitely something that I can talk about and I can film. But yeah, I think tomorrow, as far as like my Peterisms channel and my review channel and my Peter Does Stuff channel, unless I get home and I feel really moved to do it, I think that I'm just going to not make videos on those channels tomorrow and just kind of relax and spend the day with my husband. If we go to brunch, we might go to somewhere different tomorrow. If we go to brunch early, like early for us is like 12:31, and we get back by like 1:30ish, then we can go to the pool and we can have a good afternoon at the pool. And usually on the weekends, I brought a San Pellegrino with me. Usually the weekends are not too busy. We do need to go to Costco though to get like Coke and Diet Coke, and I'm almost out of these. I have like I think like 4 or 5 of these left, and I need to get another pack of these and some Diet Cokes. So I wasn't even drinking that much Diet Coke towards the end. It's funny, like, the things that I go through, like, I wasn't even drinking that much Diet Coke, so to the point where I didn't even realize that I was, like, out of it. And, now these, I have been drinking, but I've also been drinking more just straight water, purified water, because I have the pure filtered water thing in the refrigerator that I just fill up, you know? I've been drinking more out of that, and so I hadn't recognized that I was almost out of these, because with these, I don't typically drink these unless I'm watching like a show on my iPad or something, or we're watching a show in there. But if we're watching a show in there and I'm like eating dinner or something, I typically have, well, if it's pizza or something, I might have like one of Alex's Cokes, but very rarely. I typically just fill up one of these hot box plastic cups that we have with water, and I just drink straight water. So I didn't really realize that I was out of Diet Coke. I thought I had like 2 back in the back of the refrigerator, but I guess not. And, well, I took one to my meeting on Tuesday, and I think that was my last one, and I didn't realize that was my last one when I took it out. This is so silly. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. But what's funny is, like, going to the grocery store now, like, because I go only once or twice a week, like, I don't just, like, go every day. Like, in the past, you know, I would go every day, but now I can only go when somebody takes me, and so when I go, it's like I get certain things. If I go to, like, Fresh Time, like, I get coffee to make iced coffee here at the house. Well, I have enough iced coffee. I have enough of the, like, the cans of coffee that I buy. I have 3 things of Starbucks iced coffee. 2 of them aren't open, and the third one I just opened today. So I still have 2.5 of those. So that'll last me all this next upcoming week. And then, what else do I have? And then I have some of those juices from Trader Joe's. I have a 4-pack still of the watermelon juice. I'll probably have one of those tonight while I'm watching Hacks. And then I have like 1, I think, pineapple juice still in there, maybe. Anyway, but as far as like food, I have like 1 package of cheese, and then I'm like down to 2 of the King's Hawaiian rolls, and I don't have any lettuce left. I'm almost out of macaroni and cheese. That's what I have for dinner tonight. I'm almost out of mayonnaise and the Durkee's mustard, and I need to order the Durkee's mustard on Amazon and get another thing of that, but I'm kind of out of all of that. I do have like a lot of like sugary treats in here. I have a bag of peanut butter M&Ms. I have the crumble cookies that I just reviewed. And then I have these lemon tarts that I got at Fresh Time that are in the refrigerator. And then I have these strawberry no-bake cookies that I haven't really been eating. I don't know, like I either go through periods. Do you guys do this where I'm like really hungry for sweet things? Or it's usually late at night that I want something sweet, which is not great. Or if I can't sleep, I'll come downstairs and I'll get something sweet, which I know people have commented on the vlog and they're like, that's the worst time to eat it. But sometimes it helps me fall asleep. Like if I eat something sweet, it helps me fall asleep. Or I'll think that I'm going to have sweet dreams. Sweet dreams are made. I was like singing 2 songs at the same time. There was a dance song back in the day. It went, sweet dreams of rhythm and dancing. And then there's also the, what do you call it? The Annie Lennox, the sweet dreams are made of these, the Eurythmics song. I loved that song. I still love that song when it comes on. It's like an anthem. But anyway, tonight after I got all my stuff up, I made macaroni and cheese out of the box and sat there with little dog, and I ate and I watched I'm like obsessed with watching all of this like drag stuff on these YouTube channels. There's one called Drag Lover and the other one is called Kalani Productions, and they constantly are posting stuff, so it's like you can't even keep up with it. And tonight I watched the 2019 Miss Continental runway, which is like the beginning, the opening part. They do like a little show, and then they have all of the former winners come out, which I always like to watch. I don't know why. And the winner from the previous year was Stasha Sanchez. So I watched that. And then Naysha Lopez, who is on RuPaul's Drag Race, she's a Miss Continental. I think she was probably like 2018, 2017. And actually just ran like it's an election, just competed in the Mr. Continental pageant. I think it was this last year, and his name was Fabian. So anyway, I ate, I talked to my friend Valerie on the phone, tried to get a hold of Tanya, couldn't get a hold of Tanya, and so I went and I laid down for a little bit. I was like, I'm gonna lay down, and little dog gave him his medicine, and then it was funny because like sometimes he doesn't like, you have to squirt this stuff in his mouth, and he doesn't really like it. And I was like walking up the stairway, and the stairs go like this, and then landing, and then the stairs. And he was standing like putting his head through these 2 bars. And so I was like scratching his chin, and I was like, oh, this is such a great time to give him his medicine. So I ran in the kitchen, I got his medicine, and I go, oh, Boo Radley, and I just like squirted, and it was so easy. And he just was like, and then I was like, you ready to take a nap? And he was all excited. He knows the word nap. He was all excited about that. So we went upstairs, and I put him on the bed. Here, I even took a picture and sent it to Alex. Do you want to see it? I'll show you. Because I said, little dog and I are... What did I say? I said... we're going to take a nap. And then I said, gave him his medicine, and he's ready for a nap. And here's little Boo Radley. Sitting on Alex's pillow. He's so sweet, isn't he? So... And then Alex sent me a picture from this party that he's at. Yeah. So we were texting, and then... I got up, I laid down about, well, I could tell you. I think on iPhones it doesn't put the time, does it? I can never see the time of when I texted something. No, but it was after, because he texted me a video of this place that he was at. It was like this video of him showing me the top of the condo building. That was at 8:25, and then we were texting at 12 something, and I woke up at like 11:30, 11ish, 11:30, and I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone while I took Boo Radley out. So I probably laid down from like, it was right before 10. I remember it was like 5 till 10. I laid down from like 10 until like 11:15, and then I snoozed the alarm like twice. So I got up at like 11:30. I had a good nap. And I'm awake now. Like, I'm ready to like watch some shows and enjoy my evening. It's like perfect out. It's not too cold, but it's like not hot or warm. It's not humid at all. It's like really pretty nice outside. So I'm really excited about that. My plants seem to be doing a little bit better. I'm going to actually water them again tonight. Maybe I'll wait till tomorrow night. But my fern looks really good. Maybe I'll put her back up and wait to water her in a day or two. Or maybe I'll water her tonight and then put her up tomorrow. I think maybe that's what I'll do. But anyway, yeah. A really peaceful evening. My plan was to go down in the basement and work a bunch tonight. And I went down there and I kind of looked around at some stuff and moved some stuff around, but I didn't really do a whole lot in the basement. Well, the thing is that the stuff that I have is stuff that needs to be thrown out. It's like trash, and we don't have a lot of room in our trash can right now. So I don't want to get bags piled up upon bags. This has been kind of like my thing all along, is I don't want to have like 10 trash bags that are sitting down there. Just, I mean, of course it would be like work that I would get done ahead on the basement. But at the same time, I don't want there to just be 10 bags that I have to maneuver around. So, but I'm going to go down there a couple nights this week and continue to get some stuff done. So I got that started. And I know kind of where I want to go next. I keep on hitting this table. So I'm sorry for that. I know where I want to go next. And I have these old games. Like, I have a bunch of old games that my mom brought from the house over here that are still like up in this bookshelf area. It's like the only thing I haven't cleaned out. And I need to kind of look through them and see if they have the pieces together, because if they do, then I'll donate them. They're like old games, like Risk and stuff like that. And I have a feeling like most of the pieces are missing and stuff like that, which was the case of most of my games back in the day. I wish our neighborhood did like a neighborhood garage sale, although nobody really, I mean, my cousin every once in a while, she'll do a garage sale and she'll be like, yeah, I made pretty good money off of it. And she's like, I don't really, I mean, it was like $200 and everybody got rid of this junk for me. But I wish, maybe what I'll do is when I get done vlogging tonight, I'll go down there and I'll go through the games, and then I'll feel like I at least got something accomplished. But, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I wish our neighborhood like had like a neighborhood garage sale, like where everybody just brought everything to one spot, and it was set up, and then people could come here like for 1 or 2 days, like in the summer, because then I could just like take a bunch of the stuff that I have and put it over there. I did find this bowl that has like, it sits on this thing. My mom used to put pine cones in it. It's a gorgeous bowl. And I found that in the basement, so I am going to save that. I found that was like the only thing that I went through yesterday that I'm going to save. And I was able to move like our hanging rack over. So now like our laundry area has a lot more room because I cleaned out that whole area behind it, which is really nice. Oh, and also I had just thrown this stuff in like these plastic bins. I'm gonna have to move this table. Hold on a second because I keep on hitting it. I had these, just thrown stuff through the years in these plastic bins, which I can put like books in to take to like donation places and whatever, or just like in sorting things and cleaning them out. And now I have like 3 or 4 extra of those. I mean, I already had a couple of those, but most of the ones that we have in the basement are already filled up with stuff. So I have 3 or 4 extras now that I can use in like sorting through stuff. But yeah. feeling good about getting that done. Feeling good about being able to go to marriage counseling when I know our counselor will be like, now, what's the progress on the basement? And I'll be like, well, I worked several nights on it already. So, excited about that. And, what else? I have 3 episodes of Hacks left. I want to watch that. It's funny that it's so cool outside. Like, I mean, it's not cool like sweater. I mean, I could have a sweatshirt on and be comfortable tonight out here, like a hoodie. But it's really like nice outside. I don't like, it feels to me more like early fall or like early spring. It doesn't feel like summer to me. I just remember summer nights like being so hot. But you know, also my mom, like at 6 o'clock in the evening, she would turn the air conditioning off and just let the outside cool our house inside, because she just loved the smell of the fresh air cleaning out the house. And then she also just was like, she really believed that like if you turned your air conditioning off late at, or like early evening, she was kind of this old mindset that if you turned your air conditioning off and then you turned it back on in the morning, that you saved all this money. Which what would happen is by the time that she turned her air conditioning back on in the morning, the temperature in the house was like in the mid to upper 70s. So she would have to cool it all the way down to 70, which cost a lot of money. So it really wasn't saving her that much money, I don't think, in the first place. But I can remember like our bedroom, like my bedroom being so hot. Like I can remember like cool air, like a breeze coming through from the woods, and I could hear the creek in my backyard because we have this big creek that went through our backyard. So like when you went out the back door of our house, or like from the basement, or where I was looking out, because my bedroom was in the back of the house, like from my window to where the woods started was less than 10 feet. It was like grass and then less than 10 feet, and it was like at an angle. And then the woods were like probably another 10 feet, and then there was this creek that, with the creek bed and everything, was probably 15 feet across. And it kind of wound and meandered all through our backyard. There was like a part like towards the kitchen where it like went around like this corner and came back around. And that's where my treehouse was and stuff. But like we would follow the creek in the summers, like all of us kids, we would go down there and we would like, there was like this grayish clay that was, so the county that I was in, well, it was Hamilton County. The township I was in was Clay County, and it was like known supposedly for this clay that was in these creek beds, and it was like this gray clay, and like you could turn it into stuff. Like I can remember we would like get it and we would make like little makeshift bowls and stuff out of it, you know, that we would like have in the tree house and whatever. And they would like dry and turn into like, I mean, they didn't look pretty or anything like that, but, and we would go through the creek and we would, I can just remember, like that was one thing that I was kind of fearless about, was that, because I don't really like anything that's like kind of a little weird and freaky, and we would pick up rocks and like pick up crawdads and put them like, you know, in things, and then like, you know, put them in other places. And I can remember we would like make like what do you call it, like if there was a part of the creek that was like bigger, we would build up rocks and make like like a dam. And so then it was like all these tadpoles and stuff. There weren't really a lot of fish. There were some fish. Like if you got into bigger areas where the creek was bigger, there were some fish in there. And there were even some like bottom feeder fish and stuff like that. Like when you got to like deep areas, like if you kept on going, it ended up following this golf course. And so we would just follow it and follow it and follow it, you know, all day long. And there were parts that were probably 2 feet deep maybe, and you couldn't really see the bottom. And then there were other areas that were 2 or 3 feet deep and it was crystal clear and you could see the bottom. There were rocks and all kinds of stuff, and we played in the woods. I mean, literally, like on days that I didn't have tennis, we were out there from real early in the morning. Like, I would eat breakfast and I would meet my friends in the woods, and we would go out there and be there. Like, if we weren't playing like baseball in the street or something like that, or me and my 2 girlfriends walking around, I mean, we were in the woods a lot in the summer, like a lot, and all day long for like 8 a.m. we would come home for lunch and then go back out, and we would be back out there until like dinner time, and then we would come out at dinner time and we would play games like you know, in the neighborhood. We would do like lightning bugs or scary games and stuff like that, or just sit in the yard and tell ghost stories. Summers were so fun. Summers were so fun as a kid on my street. But I can just remember getting like real like muddy and dirty going along in that creek, and picking up crawdads and all that kind of stuff. And my aunt had, so we were like one of the first houses, not only on our street, but we were also one of the first houses like in that whole neighborhood. And so we built our house, and the house took like 2 years to build. And so like the summer or 2 summers before we moved in, I feel like we moved in, I don't remember when, but anyway, I can remember like moving stuff out there from our apartment with my dad. And that's so funny that I remember that. My dad and I driving a U-Haul over there. But we would go check on the house a lot, like when it was being built. And because my mom and dad worked with a builder and sat down and drew up like blueprints and all that kind of stuff. Like everything in the house was from like one of the fireplaces was the Union Hall fireplace at IU, and the other one was like the sorority house. I think sorority house or Fiji house, or I can't remember how it went. But anyway, so like everything was specific. Like my mom wanted window seats, and that you could just sit in and read. And we had window seats that had like bookshelves on either side of it that were like hidden back and stuff like that. And it was just a really, really cool house. And so we would go out there a lot and check on it, like in the summers. I would have been like really young. I have pictures of like us out there when like the street isn't even finished yet, like the cul-de-sac, and it's just like our house is being built. So anyway, but we were one of the first houses on the street and in the neighborhood. And so my aunt, Kathy, she went out there with bags and bags and bags of like wildflower seed, and she just like scattered it everywhere. So the woods, I don't know if it would have normally been this way or if it was because she did this, but I'm sure it's a little bit of both. But the woods were just like filled with all of these bright flowers. And they were all of these just like wildflowers that were like that big, but yellow ones and red ones and blue ones and pink ones and all different kinds of stuff. And I can remember looking out my window, my bedroom window, as a kid in the summer. Like, this is something that I really took for granted. I can remember looking out, and it's like my backyard was this beautiful creek, right? That just like shimmered and glowed in the sun. And then it was just like wildflowers as far as you could see. I mean, it was pretty amazing. It was really, really beautiful. And so we would like pick wildflowers in the woods. I mean, they were constant. It was constant, I can remember, you know. And it was really a fun place to grow up as a kid. My husband's texting me. What is he saying? Oh, he's heading home, he said. Okay. He asked me what I was doing before, and I said about to vlog, so. I hope he had fun in his little Hamptons birthday party tonight. Took a change of clothes and did a little photo shoot and all that stuff. I'm sure he had a good time. I have a little leftover mac and cheese in there. I'm sure he'll want. I made a whole box of it, and I ate more than I wanted because, first of all, it was delicious, and second of all, it was delicious. But I ate like half the box, and I put the rest of it in the fridge because I thought he could have it when he came home. And then when I got this out of the refrigerator, I was like, oh, that macaroni still looks kind of good. But I'm full, so I don't want to eat it, you know. I was talking to, when we were going to the meeting on Tuesday night, it was so funny because we got talking about, like, a friend of ours that goes to our meeting as well. She's like a really good friend of ours. She's in like my Monday night group that, well, my Monday night literature group has kind of come to a close for a while because Tanya is so busy right now, and Although she said she would have kept on doing it. But like my friend, her daughter is in this play, and so she can't do it right now, and because she's a single mom and she's got to get her places and whatever. And then my other two friends are like super busy, so we've kind of put like a pause on the Monday night literature group, which is kind of sad for me because like I really enjoyed that, but I could find another Zoom meeting or something like that to do. So I may look into that. But our friend, the one that has the daughter, she takes her on a lot of trips in the summer, just the two of them. And she took her to South Haven. And so she's been posting all these pictures of South Haven and places that they've gone and stuff like that and how much fun they had. Her daughter's like 5 or 6. And our other friend that was driving was like, oh my God, I love that area of Michigan. She was like, I used to go there a lot with her husband. She was like, you know, Saugatuck and South Haven and whatever. And I said, and I didn't remember this, but I said, is South Haven that close to Saugatuck? And she was like, yeah. And Tanya said something about going to Saugatuck. And I said, I love Saugatuck. I said, we used to go there. I said, have I told you? And Tanya acted like she didn't even know this. I was like, have I told you that I used to go there like every weekend with my dad when I was growing up as a kid? Like on the summers we would go there and, you know, go out on the boat and go into town. And I remember there was this one place that we would eat at. There was a couple different places that I remember. Well, first of all, there was a coffee shop called the Stone Mug. And when you walked in, it had like these beautiful like carpets on the floor, right? And all these like just different places to read. And then when you walked in to the right, there was like this tall bookshelf and it had all kinds of books on it. But then it also like local lore and things like that. But it also had like mugs that you could buy. And then in the middle of the bookstore, or the coffee shop, it was like a coffee shop bookstore. In the middle of the coffee shop was like this round desk kind of thing. And it was like where they had like an espresso machine, a coffee maker, a tea maker, like they had tea. They had like little boxes of tea that you could get and stuff. Because I used to love tea as a kid. I was not really, I mean, as a young kid, I would like drink like English breakfast tea with like, you know, honey in it and cream and stuff like that. I really liked that. In fact, I was like kind of like a little obsessed with tea when I was a kid. What was the kind of tea that I really liked that I have such a hard time finding now? Black. It's not oolong tea. I'll have to look it up and see. But anyway, and then in the back was like a couch and 2 chairs, and it had bookshelves all around. It was like this little reading area. Well, we would get up real early and get ready at the marina, and then we would go into town, and my dad would go in there and get a cup of coffee, and I would get like a little tea or a hot chocolate or something. Well, it must have been around like Mother's Day or something, or maybe I was just getting a gift for my mom because my dad was like, do you want to get, you know, your mom something here? And so I got her these 2 mugs, and they're blue and they have white sailboats on them. I actually found them on Etsy not too long ago, but I have them both here. And they were my mom's till the day she died. They were her favorite coffee mugs ever. And I remember that we went there and we would go there every day. And it was like on this street that was like brick or cobblestones. Now, it wasn't like a really cute, I mean, it was cute as far as being like a towny town, but it wasn't cute like Saugatuck is now. Like Saugatuck is like really nice now, you know? And I was telling them that they kind of call it like the province town of the Midwest, and that like a lot of gay guys go down there for like in the summer and stuff like that. And it's, you know, there's all kinds of bed and breakfasts and cute little restaurants and all this kind of stuff. That wasn't the way that it was when I was there. There were a lot of people that lived in that area that we knew and we met and had boats, that they lived there year round. And then they would come to the marina, and so like we would see them in town and stuff like that, and they became our friends years after years. But it was a towny town. It was a small Michigan town. The closest town was Holland, Michigan, that had the, what do you call it, the windmills and stuff like that, and the tulips. And so I can remember like, and I even looked at Hope College in Holland, Michigan as a college to go to because I liked that area and I was so used to it growing up. But we would go into town to eat. And there was this one place that my dad said later was like a hotel. And it was like, I could probably look it up because he texted me not too long ago about it because I lost this Pac-Man bet that he made with these 2 guys that were in there. But it was kind of for guys that were like shipping guys like on Lake Michigan. And so they would come there and they would like stay while they were there and like the ship was being worked on or whatever. And so we would sometimes eat there, but then there was this other place, and I feel like it was a hotel too. And so my dad's partner, his business partner, and his wife and their 2 kids, they had a boat in Michigan the whole time we were there too. And so they would be up there on the weekends, and we would like meet there and at night, this place for dinner, and it was some other hotel, but it was like, this is going to sound so crazy because my image of it is like kind of like an A-frame house, like in the 70s or early 80s. And it was like shag carpeting. But I remember it being like a nice hotel. And it was on the water, and it like looked out over like the Bay area of Saugatuck and stuff like that. I even feel like there was a little beach. It stopped. I even feel like there was a little bit of a beachy area out back. And so we would go there, and I remember like I was obsessed that they had tapioca pudding and slices of pizza on the salad bar. So the kids, we would always get the salad bar because it had, I don't know why I remember that, but it's so funny. And my dad and I, like on the boat, we would eat like raw hot dogs, and my dad loves like the long pretzels dipped in ham salad, which I never ate the ham salad, but my dad loves ham salad. You know, like that pink ham salad stuff. He would get like huge containers of it. And then, he also liked, when I was growing up, kipper snack, or I think they're called kipper snacks, which are like the little fish that come in the can that you unroll. He doesn't eat those anymore, but he used to when I was growing up as a kid, which is so funny. And then I also remember, and I think Michigan might still be this way, but you got like 10 cents back for like a can, or 5 cents or something like that. And so me and that girl, I've talked about this before, but she was this girl from Chicago. We would like, on the days that there was just like nothing to do and they were just like working on the boat, or it was like raining and we weren't taking the boat out or whatever, she and I would go all over the marina area looking for aluminum cans, and then my dad would drive me into town to go like to the gas station, and then like I could like turn in all of these cans and whatever. I think maybe it was on the way out of town that we did that. And I remember that like everything that I got back in change for cans I got to keep, or something like that. Does Michigan still have that? I was always jealous that we didn't have that in Indiana. I always was convinced I could make a fortune if we had that in Indiana. But anyway, and the sodas that I drank back then, my dad always drank Squirt, so I always had Squirt or Mellow Yellow. I don't know why that, but, and Mr. Pibb. Not Dr. Pepper, Mr. Pibb I drank back then, because I can see the cans in my head. And I can see that it was pull tabs, too. It wasn't like how it is now. It's like these pull tab things, like beer cans, you know, were kind of like in the 70s and stuff. Well, I'm sure it was just like that's how cans were. Those were fun weekends, though. It was like a 4-hour drive up there. My dad would listen to like country music the whole time, and we would belt out these songs like Tom T. Hall, Sneaky Snake. We would sing like all of these songs. Here I was, like, you know, a 7-year-old singing Tom T. Hall, I Like Beer. Having no clue what that meant at the time, you know, or D-I-V-O-R-C. Well, that wasn't Tom T. Hall, but my dad loved country music. He loved Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson. And I have to say, like, interestingly enough, when I was like a young kid, I really didn't like that at all. And then like the older I got, like Willie Nelson is hands down one of my all-time favorite musical artists, musicians of life to this day. Which isn't that so funny? And when I was a kid, I really didn't like it. But I remember sometimes when we would go up there, if like we got up there on like a Thursday or something, because he would sometimes, my dad would take the weekends off if he wasn't on call. If we got up there and it was, I mean, this was prior to my stepmom being around and things like that, before they were dating. If we got up there and it was like really raining and the weather was supposed to be bad for the weekend, we would drive to Chicago and we would stay in Chicago. We'd always stay on top of the water tower at the Ritz because my dad loved that hotel. And then we would go visit these family friends of ours that lived outside of Chicago on the way home. And I remember they had an inside pool. They don't live in this house anymore. Well, actually, they ended up moving to Oak Brook or Oak Park, I can never remember, but they redid this like 100-year-old home that was like massive. And then they ended up selling that, and they now live like in, they like built this building in downtown Chicago that's like 3 or 4 stories. It's like their house is in, they like took a building down and then I know, right? So anyway, I've never been there. I still talk to them every once in a while, but I was actually asking Caroline if she talks to them, because she's really good friends, or her mom was really good friends with this woman that was friends with our parents like their entire lives, adult lives. And she's like, I hadn't talked to her in a long time, but my aunt and uncle went up there, and I can remember my Aunt Kathy saying, you've got to see this place, like it's absolutely incredible. But anyway, we would go there, and I can remember I would sit there like a little kid. She had kids too. She had like 2 adult girls that she had when like my parents got married with another husband, and then she had 2 kids that are younger than me by like, her daughter is probably 3 or 4 years younger than me, and her son is probably 5 years younger than me. And so, but sometimes they wouldn't be around. And I can remember she had this indoor pool, and it had like, it was the coolest house, and it had like French doors like going out to it. It was very classy how it was done. And I just wanted to swim in this pool so bad. And so I would just like sit there listening to her and my dad talk, right? You know, for like, and then like an hour would go by, and my dad would go, I don't think she'd mind if you went swimming. And because I was so dying for her to ask me, you know, and I had my swimsuit and my bathing suit in the car ready to go. And she'd be like, oh no, not at all. Go out there, go have a swim, you know, whatever. And so I would like go run out to the car and get my swimsuit, and then I would go swimming. And then I remember we would drive home. And to this day, it's like why I like the sound of like turn signals and like windows down in cars. I think because, so my dad drove this little, is that my husband? No. My dad drove this little Porsche at the time, and it had these bucket seats in the back. And I would get in this bucket seat as like a little kid. My dad always kept like just a regular Hanes sweatshirt or like a coat like in the back seat of his car, like folded. He always kept it folded in case he needed it, or like, you know, got cold or whatever. And I can remember I would get like real small in like these bucket seats, and I would like cover up with one of his blankets, and then I would fall asleep like on the interstate on the way home. And I can remember like we would, the feeling or the sound of like moving, like I feel like dogs know this too, because if you're ever driving with your dogs, like they notice like when they get in your neighborhood, it's like they remember the sound. And I can remember like going from the interstate to like the regular roads and like waking up and knowing that something was different, and my dad would be like, we're home, Pete, you ready to be home? And I would be so tired. They were some of the best weekends ever though. Those were so good. It was fun. I have friends of mine that like rent houses in Michigan and stuff for the summer. Like Alex and I, we had kind of talked about, well, we're talking about doing something for our anniversary. We might do something like that. But the problem with that is that most of the houses up there and whatever, I mean, we could do Saugatuck for a weekend, I guess. But most of the houses and stuff up there are already rented out for the summer. Like, and what my brother-in-law Fufu, Juan Carlos, he went with his girlfriend Jessie and her family. They like, because she has 3 sisters and no brothers, 3 sisters. And she and her whole family and her parents, they rented a house in Michigan. I don't know where it was, but it was like you literally crossed the street and you were on the lake. It was like a really private area and had this gorgeous pool with like a diving board and a volleyball net and all this kind of stuff, and really cool backyard area. This was like a year or two, I think it was like 2 years ago. They rented this Airbnb, I think it was, to they spent like a week or 10 days up there. And I can remember seeing the pictures and the videos, and I was so jealous. I was like, oh my God, that would be like my dream, to stay there for like a week. It was beautiful. But it was this massive house because, of course, there were like, you know, so many people going. But there's houses like that that you can rent, but like they're already rented out for the summer. Like they're not, like if I got online, there would be very, I don't know, I haven't looked, so I guess I could. Alex just asked me the other day, he was like, are you going to want to do something for our anniversary in August? Because, you know, we usually go to Las Vegas. And honestly, I was kind of just waiting until my next doctor's appointment because it's the first week of August. And if he was like, okay, you're okay to travel, which I doubt he'll say, I was going to be like, let's schedule something now, or, you know, or book something now. And if he didn't say that, then we would just figure out something around here, because Alex was like, do you want to go to Chicago or Louisville or something? But we could maybe do like a little house or a little, you know, Airbnb somewhere in Michigan. That might be fun too. And then we could take little dog with us. I don't know. We'll talk about it. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow at brunch. See how that goes? Anyway, business brunch. We don't talk about business things at lunch. We just kind of like laugh and talk about stuff. He'll fill me in on his night tonight, unless he does tonight when he gets home, because he'll probably, it's not too late, so he won't be too tired when he gets home. Or he'll be like, I'm totally tired. But he didn't do anything today. He like slept in and then he like laid in bed and whatever. So when he gets home, I'll end the vlog and I'll get off of here so I can hang out with him a little bit. I took little dog out twice for a long period of time. Like before we took our nap, I took him out and he literally went to like every mailbox. I was finally like, come on, Boo Radley. And then he, like, and it was so funny because he like waits and waits. I mean, he like, you know, pees 50 times, but he finally like, right as he was getting ready to come inside the house, he like pooped. I was like, okay, about time. I was like, good boy, Boo Radley, good boy. He just looked up at me and then I gave him treats and that's when I gave him his medicine. And we went upstairs and took a nap. And then as soon as I got up from taking a nap, I took him out again. And he was like, he just loves going from mailbox to mailbox to mailbox. And I just am like, poor little guy, you know. So let him enjoy his time out there. I was thinking about as far as picking weeds, like we don't have too many weeds, but we have enough that to completely get this walkway done, it would probably be, to get it done and to look nice, a good 45 minutes to an hour, maybe an hour. And so there's some weeds along where the rocks are and then out front. It's not bad like how it used to be at all. But I was like, I don't know that I can do this. Like I don't know that I can get down on my knees and like with my back and stuff like that for like an hour to do the weeds. And I said something to Alex about us like both doing it, and he was like, yeah, sure, but like we just haven't like had the time, or we haven't made the time really, because it's not at the top of our priority list. But I do want it to look nice for the rest of summer. We need to get some weed eater, number one, but number two, I'll let him do the weed eater because he likes to do that. But number two, I was thinking like each day of the week, I could take like a segment, and then by Thursday or Friday, like the whole walkway would be done. And I wouldn't have had to like, I'd only have to spend 10 or 15 minutes picking weeds, you know, if even that. And then it would be like done. Like it would be really nicely done and weeded out and cleaned out. So I think that's one of my goals this week. Our hostas are like half dead because we haven't gotten that much rain. And then now the next 4 days are going to be sunny, sunny, sunny. I watered my plants last night. Let's see how they are. No, they don't need any water tonight. Somebody's coming down our street. Let's see if it's my husband. It's my husband. So you're going to hear the garage door go up and Boo Radley's going to start barking. You hear the garage door, and here comes little dog. There's little dog. He's looking at... Isn't he so cute? He knows exactly when Alex is... He can hear the garage door come home. So anyway, I'm going to get off here now. I'm going to end this right now. And I'm just going to say a quick goodbye. And I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Sunday. I love you guys so much. So does Boo Radley, little dog. And so does my husband, Alex. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.